That's why. Oh boy. Hello, friends. Going live streaming is super stressful. It doesn't really perfectly show you what's going on. I hope you guys can hear me. Thanks, Scruffy. How was your New Year, man? I listened to your record today. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. The visuals were killer. Mixing, mastering, all of it. You did great. Ah, brutal. You get how do you guys say it? Knackered. What's up, Wabs? Hope you're enjoying the French Riviera or Paris or wherever you are. Congratulations, by the way. Okay. Let's transition to this. Audio should be good. So, what I've got going on, my guitar is going through my pedal board, which is on the floor here. I don't think, now you can't really see it. That's coming into the Zoia, out of the Zoia, into the Tonverk. That's the rig. I wanted to do a thing where I patch back and forth in and out of my interface, but it was not cooperating. I don't have enough long cables because for some dumb reason my interface is all the way over there. Yeah, you can't see that from here, but whatever. So we'll have to do with this. So Upstate Downstate has a show coming up. And hey, Cornish, how's it going, man? Upstate Downstate has a show coming up, and doing live hardware is one thing if you've got like a overarching 30-minute set of music that just doesn't stop. But we don't really operate that way. We do write and play songs as songs. So what I want to do is make like little vignettes, whatever you want to call them, to go between each song. Something that, like, at the end of a song, I can trigger something on my aux track and it'll just play a sample of like a 2.5 minute little thing. I figure that'd be easy to do. I've already tested it on the aux track side. I've got it working with a static track where basically it'll just trigger that sample and play it for its entirety, and then at any time I can start a new song without that stopping, and then starting that new song will just stop it and we'll go right into the new thing. So yeah, figured I'd make something here. I could sample my guitar into the Tonverk, see what happens. If you're not familiar, this is Electron's newest piece. 8 tracks of audio, a couple of different types of machines, as they call them. Single samples, multi-samples, so like a full keyboard in sample format. Subtracks, which is like 8 channels of drums and a granular engine. It can send MIDI out as well, but because of the Digitact of the Octrack, I don't need to do that, at least with this. Yeah. So I'm going to pull up a multiplayer. Let's see. Yeah, you can hear that. I'll look for some kind of piano-ish thing. I do like this guy. don't think I'm using that patch on any of the songs yet, but let's see what else we got. That sounds good. Rather like that. See what happens. Probably filter it down nicely. Yep. Okay, let's start with giving some release. Give it a little reverb. Still ends kind of abruptly. I don't love that. Delay. Okay. Let's modulate this. Yeah, filter frequency. Let's put a note down. Give it 16 steps. Okay. All right, there we go. Not too, I want that slower. Oh, also, yeah, it's too fast. really enjoying modulating the stereo spread of the filter. Is that what it is? Where is that? Yes, right here. Stereo spread of the filter. So if you're in headphones or you're on a good system, you should hear the filter moving across the stereo field. And you can automate that. Gently though, because it gets a little crazy. Let's put this on sign. It's way too fast. This is one of their new effects, the filter folder. This thing constantly surprises me how like good it sounds for it being samples. That's the wrong thing. Get that there. There we go. Widen up that chorus. Slow it down. Deepen it. A little too deep. Still a little too fast. Give it a little bit of high pass. Try a different effect over here. It's not doing it for me right now. Where is that? There we go. No, the guitar, well, the reverb is. This is the dry guitar tone. So, Jazzmaster into a Electro Harmonics tone corset. It's a compressor. Not too much compression, just a little. The Electronic Audio Experiments Halberd. That's a really gnarly overdrive, I have it in its like mellowest setting. And then the Boss IR2 for the amp sound. Then that goes into the Zoya. I can add some delay. It's in reverse. Yeah, I mean, I've learned to like not question it. So I spent years in a band with a guy who had this wonderful Les Paul, this Mesa Boogie dual rack mount, and a Marshall cab, and great pedals, and his guitar always sounded incredible. And every single time he turned his amp on and plugged in and played a chord, he'd go, "It sounds like garbage." And he hated it every time. And I never understood it because it always sounded so good. But what I realized is he was overthinking it. Most guitar will sound good every time. You get used to it after 30 seconds and it's going to do the thing. The trick is not turning your gear on and expecting to hear something. You turn it on and you get what you get. And it's usually pretty good. But when you expect, I don't know what he was expecting, but when you expect it to sound like something, it's not going to sound like that. Not every time. Every room is different. Every situation's different. I like to think I have this pedal board dialed in pretty well. Clean tones are the hardest. But this Boss IR2, I think it's pretty good. I think the amp model is just the Katana Clean. I mean, it's got 11 amps. Most of them sound pretty good. I find the ones that aren't modeled after other things, the ones that are like the Boss models, are the best sounding. They're just the simplest. They don't sound too much. Like there's a Marshall on there that sounds great, but it just like it doesn't sound like the Marshall. It's close, but it's not right there. With the Boss, you're not expecting anything. So this is in drop C, and I've replaced these stock pickups with Seymour Duncan, JB, and Jazz, the Hot Rod set. I think it sounds good. I like it. I'm glad you like it. Okay. You know what? I'm going back because I want to use the granular in the Tonverk. Where is it? There it is. Go back to this reverb patch. Appreciate that, Shaba. Happy January indeed. So, I don't have any formal guitar training. I don't have any formal bass guitar training for that matter, but I spent a lot of time playing in bands. I spent a lot of time working sound gigs, doing sound, stage managing, whatever. You'd be surprised what you can learn just from paying attention to what the people that you think sounds good do and try to emulate that. Guitar needs a lot of mids. Guitar should be bright. Do those things. Don't be afraid to turn the knobs on your pedal and your amp everywhere. Dump the lows. Go way too bright. Turn the drive all the way until it doesn't go anymore. You never know what happens. The hard way. All right, let's try sampling this. Actually, I haven't sampled on this thing this way. I've only used the multi-sampler. So, input in USB as the source. Monitor off because I'll hear it. Record start threshold or play. I guess threshold. And it's recording. Great. I was not ready for that. Oh, I can trim. Right? Loop, norms. There we go. Start. Okay. So that doesn't matter. Let's turn this threshold up a little bit. What do I want to play? Function, yes. Wow, I can't believe I haven't sampled on this traditionally at all yet. That was a minor, I think, with a C in the bass. Yes, put that on 2. Great, it works just like a dig attack. That's nice and easy. So this is the granular machine. It's fun. It's a little unruly, or it can be. It's one of those things, kind of just got to go with it. Density I want more of. Hi, Davey. Hi, Chris. Alright, well, I like this already. I want to add something. I want to add a traditional melody. Let's turn this off. Something staccato. No. Nope. Chris, I won't tell Trust how you said that. Where's that other piano? No, it's not the one. Okay, hold on. Could you imagine? I know you haven't met him in person. He's like a giant man. He's like a fucking professional wrestler. He could just like pick you up and carry you into a venue. He'll just pick up PP12 and just, oh, here I go. I got my big keyboard. Sure, let's go with it. it does stay on. You're probably right. Okay, let's put it. Well, actually, what's on here? Nothing. Perfect. So much so quickly. Okay. Let's start by. I guess I don't need to do anything with either of these. Does that modulate this volume? So you can change the velocity. I think you could do it not only on individual chords on steps, but also within a individual step, each note in the chord. Forgetting exactly how it's done. Let's look at this one for an example. Step edit. All right, so for example, this thing is just the C and the A. I should be able to trigger. Yeah, so that's now at 62, and that's still at 100. So yeah, each one is individual within one step. Length also, which is cool because you can get strums out of it. I believe there's a way to automate, probably in the arpeggiator. Cycle random. No, there's somewhere where you can automate a strum into a chord. Maybe it is in the chord menu. I don't remember, but it exists. I know it does. They really thought of every option. It's great. There's so much that I haven't even gotten to. I haven't needed to as of yet. I'm sure. The Digitakt, I've pretty much used all the functions I can think of. It's a lot more basic compared to the Tonverk. The Octatrack, forget it. I'll never use everything in there. There's stuff in there I'm not even interested in using. But they really put a rich feature set in the Tonverk that's all very usable. There's just so much they've already added, so I'll get there. What the hell was I doing? Right. I want to... Still gotta come down in volume. one note. It's just a C. Yeah, I get the menu diving argument. The counter to that, at least with Electron stuff, is that pretty much everything's right here. Here's my trig menu. There's 2 pages of it. Here's my source menu where I choose the machine I'm using and how it operates. There's 2 pages of that. So everything's within like 2 button pushes, maybe 3. Like my filter's only got 1 page, at least on the granular machine. The effects have multiple pages, but that's because you can load multiple effects. And modulation is just your different destinations. Your track LFO and your effect LFOs. 2 of each. And an envelope for the modulation. So yeah, menus, don't get me wrong, you're absolutely correct. But what I like about Electron is they are very quickly accessible. It's not, I've never gotten along with Roland stuff. I love them. They sound great. They work. But like, I always feel like I don't know how to get to what I want to get to. Here, I know, and it made sense to me from Jump Street with the Digitact when I first got it. It was right there. It was ready to go. I didn't need to look or figure it out. It became intuitive really fast. I don't like that. Why does that now do that? It was fluid before and now it's not. I know why. Okay. Better. Let's set this to 13 steps. Out. Let's set it to, there we go. Why is it only on the right? What's that all about? Right? You know, I'm not crazy. You guys are only hearing that in your right ear. The grains. Why? Whatever. Let's mess with that. Oh, the filter spread maybe? Yep. That's what happens when you have fun. Okay, let's put this back then. Oh. Yeah, I get that. I love messing around in software, but like the DAW for me is a mixing place. That's where I want to do that type of work. I don't find myself being creative quickly in there. Certain things, when I need a sound for my V collection, when I want to get a little more surgical with like sample prep, I'll do that in Logic. Sometimes sounds I just can't get from my hardware, I will make, like I said, in V collection and sample it out. Trying to think of what else. And then everything that's post, I will spend hours and hours and hours in Logic mixing something that doesn't need to be spent. I don't need to be spending hours on. I just love working there. For that though, I want to play instruments. I don't know what it is, but it works for me. And I didn't know I was going to be that way until I got a piece of hardware and I was like, oh, this is, I've, guitars, basses or whatever, but, I got my Novation circuit and I started messing around in there and I was like, I don't know, the tactility of it, something, it just spoke to me. Theresa, are you still in here? What are you cooking? I can smell it through the door. Okay, what else can we modulate? Let's put a pan on a sine wave. Of course. And David, I love what you do. That thing you put in for popcorn night, I had listened to it I don't know, maybe a week prior or so, whenever you posted it. I don't know, it didn't. Sometimes you listen to stuff that's made in software and you're like, that's software, or hardware, and say, that's hardware, when you can't see what's being made. I don't know, you clearly are inspired when you do that stuff, so. Sauce. That's my girl. No, definitely not. It's preference. Think about the artists you love and what they make, whatever they make on. Look at what Aphex Twin did with a computer that couldn't even barely go on the internet. Look at what, I don't know. Look at what modern artists do with some paint and a canvas and they just throw it at it. It's amazing. I think this is sufficiently eerie enough. Okay. Now I hate this sound. Great. Let's find another. Where are... They're not in here. They are in here. There we go. No, not those. These. Oh, right. I can't preview them. There's one thing that's annoying. So you can access presets in a couple of different places. Why, I don't know, but you can. Basically, I can choose my source machine. So here I want to choose the multiplayer, and it brings me to this menu where I don't know how well you can see it. You probably can't. but it shows the machine on the left, and then it shows the instrument on the right, and that's where I'm scrolling through. It's going to take forever to look at the screen. Scroll through with the different presets, basically. But there's also here a preset menu, but I can't preview the sounds in this menu. Only in this menu. I don't know why. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. There's probably a way to take the presets here and put them in this menu, maybe? I don't know. I have to look into that. If anyone's wondering... Oh, she said hi. That's Theresa there. I made her a mod, so if you're bad, she can give you the old boot. So, Cressy, try your patience, please. Let's go back to that piano. There. This piano patch is just too good. It sounds extra today, though. Why? That's why. Yes. Right here. Chord. Again, I don't know. The screens I'm looking at are all small. So I don't know how well you can see that. I guess you can kind of... Let me blow it up on my end. Yeah. So right here, chord and scale, you can choose... This is how it would start. You can choose your root note. Man, I mean... Chromatic, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. I have no idea what PNMI is. Or PNMA? I should look these up. Melodic minor, harmonic minor, whole tone, blues, comb. Combined, maybe? I'm not sure. You can zoom. I can get a magnifying glass out now, hold it in front of the camera. Personal, maybe? No. I think there's a custom also. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't even know what some of this is. Wow. LY26, like... Or is that 2.6? I don't know. Hungarian. Let's hear what Hungarian sounds like. That's pretty good. That's it. LO30. I don't know. There's way too many. But yes, you can also set it to either just... I don't know if you can tell with the light. It's hard, but... Yeah, if I turn it, you can see the difference between the dark and the lit. So where it'll show you... Let me put it in a key that's not chromatic. There we go. So only the lit keys are, it's just a guide. They're telling you what's in key. A filter where things out of the key don't happen. And a snap where they just snap to, I believe, the lowest, the next note low. Yep. So you get it all. Tonverk new is 1,500, 1,600 US. You might get it for a few bucks less over there, because you don't have to deal with the tariffs, and they're in Sweden, right? Sweden, Finland. So Of course, changes Toman to US dollars. Figured I wasn't going to go to Sweetwater. So Toman's got it for $11.75 with a dollar sign. I don't know if that's actually US dollars or just they're using a dollar sign for you, but if that's real, that's crazy because I got an open box from Sweetwater for $13.5 or $1400. Forgive me if you're saying things to me. I can't see it. The chat at the moment. 1,600 US dollars from Sweetwater. 11.75 from Toman. It's not a normal power supply. Can I get it on screen? It's like buried in under other cables. No, I can't. So don't worry about that right now. Electron sends power supplies with the units. This one's actually real cool. It attaches USB-C, and it's got a screw bolt like old backup PC like big cables had. So that's cool, and you can power it from a computer. I don't know if it'll run completely, but you can power it to transfer and stuff like that from a computer. I haven't tried it. I just use the power supply. It's weird. Electron keeps updating them. My Digitact's my biggest. It's like an old laptop power supply. The Octatrack, that's an older unit, but was the one I have was manufactured after my Digitech. That one's smaller, and this one's smaller still. And it's great. It's got 2 USB ports, so you can power it and plug it into the computer for class compliancy and data transfer. But it comes with a SD card, so I just pop it out. I have a card reader right here. That way I don't have to... My table, you can kind of see it to the... I need to make it bigger for me so I can see. No, you can't. The microphone's in the way. But there's a table right here where my gear sits when I'm using it all together and not at the computer. So instead of unplugging this, dragging it over here, I just pull the SD card. Okay. Yeah, Studio be capable for sure. I doubt you can do it with the Tonverk. There are ways to fit batteries in the Digitact 1 and the Octatrack Mark 1 and 2. Maybe the Digitact 2. I'm not sure how much circuitry they added. Or the Digitone 2, I'm not sure. This thing is apparently packed to the gills. Like, open it up, boards falling out of it packed. So I don't think that would be possible. But because of USB-C, you got a strong enough power brick, like a battery-powered brick. Let's see if it'll tell me. 5 volts, 3 amps, so 15 watts. So that's not bad. If you had a strong enough power brick that you trusted, I would imagine you could probably run this thing for an hour or two. I don't really leave the house with my gear though. If I do, I'm bringing all of it. Should have brought a MIDI keyboard over here for this. Hi, Song and Wind. Yeah, upstate and downstate New York. I'm half of a musical duo with my wife. She's from Oneonta. I'm from Long Island. We live in Pennsylvania now. But yeah, that's kind of where the name came from. Are you in New York? And if you are, where does upstate start? Settle this argument. Okay, I need to make this. How many bars do I want? 4. Oh, nice. She went to school in Albany. I used to visit there randomly before we met. I played in bands. We'd play shows at Valentine's? Yeah, Valentine's. And there was like a boys and girls club or something like it north near the river, north of 90, that would do hardcore shows. Played there sometimes too. Maybe in Latham. It might not have actually been in Albany. Now that I think about it, it's been a minute though. North of Poughkeepsie. Okay, that's close enough for me. Nice. Yes, Saratoga Winters. That's not what I was thinking of, but that place ruled. Um, every time I played there, I had to stand on the side of the stage where there was the big beam in the middle. Yeah, yeah, I remember reading about that a few years ago. That was crazy because that venue was awesome. I don't know. I mean, the guy probably sucked. I don't remember him. I didn't get to meet him, the owner, but it was like a saloon. It was the fucking coolest. Whatever. Can't believe we burned it down. What an asshole. All right, this menu. No, I need a metronome. There's no fucking. Yeah, it is. I've jumped off of that stage. Not onto it, but off of it. What's up, Trader? How's it going, bud? Yeah, okay, it's slow enough. That's not the button I wanted to press. That just happened to be lucky. All right, I want that longer, and I want to play it better. What's up, Ayer? Portland does feel like a capital, at least a new one. That's a hell of a resume, though. What scale? I have no idea, dude. C? This is just C and A, honestly. Maybe an E in there, too. I have... That's just C and A. And then... This was... What's the chord? A sus2, maybe? Which I played through the Zoia and sampled in and then put through the granular engine to get this. And now I'm just going to play a little bit of a piano lead over it. Yeah, I really like the options, basically. The idea of having a modular guitar effect, but also everything else that it does. Usable for any situation, stereo in and out. I bought it for not my guitar necessarily, but for my DAWless rig. But obviously it obviously works for both. The business is totally a scam. I'm with you. Hi, Dark Synth Ambient. Thank you. Appreciate you all being here, by the way. How many people are even in here right now? 7 of you. Appreciate it, really do. Well, 7 people talking. I've got some lurking gherkins, as we call them. Speaking of which... today's Saturday, not Sunday. All right, no Jervis. All right, you guys are distracting me. I'm going to ignore you for a few minutes. This, I need to make 2 pages. Oh, wait, that's right. No, I need to make it. Thanks, Cressy. Okay, that's good. Playing better stuff when I'm just reading the chat and just playing than I am when I'm trying to do it. I'm gonna go for that. gotta wait for it to loop back around. Yeah, Trader. My regular rig is. I missed it again. I'm just stopping it. My regular rig is the Digitact 1, playing one shots and drums. The Tonverk is now basically my melodic playground. I have a Sub 37 I use for bass sounds, a Yamaha Reface CP for piano stuff, an iPad for some soft synths. And I route all of that into the Octatrack. I use one of EasyBot's templates that lets me use it as effects, but I also have 2 free flex tracks. So I'll do drum loops and some melodic stuff. Sometimes I'll play guitar into there, sometimes into the Tonverk. And the live setup will basically just be the 3 boxes, and that's it. Maybe the Zoia for effects, or maybe even for effects for Theresa's vocals. But basically, the idea is the 3 boxes, leave them in song mode, let them play with the effects while she sings. That's that. I plan on doing a rig tour where I describe how I have everything wired and why, ins and outs, into the interface, back out of the interface. But I'm waiting for some extra camera equipment to show up from Christmas. Yeah. I have the Arturia AudioFuse 16, which in retrospect I probably should have bought the RME 16 channel one. It's a couple $100 more, I think. But it's a little better. But this Arturia interface is great. But what I really like about it is all the stereo line level ins and the stereo line level outs. So it's set up in such a way that in Logic I have everything coming in on their own separate channels if I want, but I can also send everything back out into the Octatrack. So I can do the same setup if it was completely DAW-less with my computer as a source or with all the instruments as a source while I'm recording each track individually. So I get the DAW-less world, I get the routing options there, and everything can go through the, well, not the Tonverk, the Octatrack for effects, but I can also record everything as if I was just being like a super traditional studio setup type thing. Yeah, I love it. It's been great. I wish it had 2 more outputs though. Because if I want to do things like send this stuff into the interface and back out for when I'm sitting over here, I can't because I don't have enough outputs left over. I actually wanted to send the guitar and the Zoia in and out of the Tonverk. That way I can play the Tonverk through it. I didn't have enough wires. I couldn't do it, so I didn't. Yep. All right. Back to this blindly playing stuff. just the right amount of wonky. Can we affect it? Yes, we can. Yeah, so when the craziest thing is, this is not a synthesizer. These are all samples. But you're absolutely right. You would have needed, like, what are the old Yamaha Romplers that did multi-channels? Cressy, if you're still in here, you might know. Trader, you might know as well. You guys remember not the motif, maybe the motif? But they were like 59 and 88 key monsters, and they were like 7 or 8 grand. But they did most of this. I don't know if they had these kind of effects, but they would do multi-samples and have at least 3 or 4 sounds per, maybe 3 in a drum or 8. Yeah, I've been meaning to leverage my Logic sample library and send stuff in. I haven't gotten around to it. There are user-made apps that will convert SFZ files, and there's another multi-sample file I'm not thinking of, to the ones Electron use, which are called eMulti or something like that. And I want to do that because the auto sampler in here doesn't let you choose loop points. So I can't auto sample my electric piano and have the notes longer than, I mean, I can sample them to 10 seconds or longer, but then I'm going to end up with a 2 gigabyte file where if I had 4 seconds and a good loop point, I could make like a 1 gigabyte or a half gigabyte electric piano patch with every note sampled at multiple velocity layers and play it in here and not have to bring it out to gigs. That's the plan, but I gotta get that done. Yeah, Logic Pro is the way. There are features I would love to have that some of the other DAWs have. But I have no complaints really about Logic. Okay, I like that. Now I just need 2 more. Whatever. I'm in a good spot for that. All right, I've been on for an hour and 15. My wife's clearly making dinner that I can smell through the door, and it's making my stomach grumble. And I don't want that picked up by a microphone. Theresa, how long till food's ready? Don't laugh at me. I can hear you. All right. I have time. I'm going to keep playing around here. I'm not leaving yet. You got to stay. You guys are stuck here forever. Song of Win, you went to Juilliard. You clearly did cool stuff. What are you doing hanging out with us weirdos? Lamar. Yeah, I know. I'm messing with you. I have a niece who just turned 12 years old yesterday, and me and my wife give her guitar lessons, but she's been playing flute in school, and she really likes it. Flute's a cool instrument. It's the kind of thing I like wish I knew how to do. Ah, you're not kidding. Those electronic wind instruments, shit that like Sean Breathalyzer does. I wish. You should just get one and try to do it. The delay. It's noisy right now. Chris, you mean the effects, not the actual guitar, right? Fucking doorstop jokes. They'll never go away. Alright, pattern 2. Ooh. My camera gear finally got delivered. Thanks, Amazon. not a new camera, but a bunch of small rig, stop, a bunch of small rig hardware. So like a light, an attachment to the arm I already have. Right now I have there it is, an iPhone on a on a small rig clamp. I wish I could show it to you. I guess I could show it to you, but whatever. On a mic stand, and it's in my way. This shit's always in my way. But I got one of those like clampable desk arms with a angle and a couple of telescopes, and a couple of clamps for that. Hi. Getting it delivered. You guys want to do an unboxing?
Do you need a knife?
No, I got a knife here. Yeah, we're going to do an unboxing. And then I'll get off stream and go eat something. Hang tight a minute. I'm like a real YouTuber now, huh? Oh, wait, I get to throw the box. Put this stuff down off camera. All right. So, if you're not familiar with small rig, they make very useful, very affordable, just like hardware for all sorts of content creation stuff. No plastic. They wrap everything in paper. Oh god, this is ice cold. So, this right here is a clamp. So, what I'm going to do is clamp this onto, I can't show it to you, long bar with an overhead camera for my table, and use this adapter to put this light, because all my lighting is lamps with nice trick. You can do this. Take whatchamacallit, parchment paper, like baking parchment paper, and wrap it around a light source, and it's like a diffuser for pennies, as opposed to buying like a $50 diffuser. It works. That's what this light is right here. That's on my face. This light over here is just it's already a little diffused, but it's a lamp pointing at the wall. The wall in front of my computer, like that I'm looking at, is a really light gray. So that like also diffuses. But instead of moving this lamp around all the time and not getting light I want, I got this guy, battery powered. I want to say 3 hours is what it's rated for. It comes with a diffusing silicone diffuser. It weighs like next to nothing. 1/4 inch here and here. So the idea is this will just screw on here, and then I can just clamp it wherever I might need and point it wherever I need. How's it going, Trusto? Trusto, if you met Cressy in person, would you be able to fold him up like a paper airplane and just... Silicone diffuser is nice. doesn't fit perfect, but I think it's just because it's cold. Oh, there we go. And it comes with a diffuser. I want to say this does... Yeah, there's a dimmer and a function. I don't know if it's multicolored, but it's like cool to warm. Sponsor me, Small Rig. And the last thing, is this taped? It is. Best part, all three of these things, the whole haul, less than $100, or maybe like $105. So for, well, I mean, it was all from like gift cards and whatnot for Christmas. So I didn't actually spend any money on it, but for like a total of like $155, $160 maybe. There's a phone adapter. I have like a whole new rig to clamp all my cameras to over the table, and I can finally do a real rig tour for you guys. That'll be the next video I make, I think. And now this is just another clamp with a 1, 2, 3, 4 joint arm. So the bar that comes straight up off the back of my desk that has my overhead camera, I'll clamp this to that and put this camera that you're looking at my face with at the rig looking at me. I'll use that other little clamp I grabbed and clamp it to this or to the bar with the light facing at me, and everything will just not look like shit. Small rig. Real high quality stuff. It's all metal. The handles are not metal, but everything else is metal. It's great. There it is. I think this one's too small for my phone. Nope, it's not. They make them with less articulating points. They make one that's just like one. But honestly, you want those options. You don't want to be stuck like, oh, here we go, clamp it on. And then it's like, oh, I have to turn it. I can't. What do I do? The idea was to have lightweight stuff that I can move around. So in the future, instead of having this mic stand holding this phone, I'll just be able to clamp the bar right on and have everything on one piece. And then just unplug it, undo the clamp from the desk, move it to the table, or back and forth. And Theresa's dabbing at me. Okay. Thanks for coming, guys. I'm sorry I only got to see the twins in the last few minutes. You guys can hit rewind and watch it again, though. We made this. Power 1. I'll be using this as an interlude between two of our songs at the next Upstate Downstate show. We're playing in February, I believe the 28th. It's a small festival, so it's over a weekend here in Williamsport. If anyone's interested in traveling here to come see it, I know Wabbit said he wanted to make it, but he's busy jet-setting with his missus right now. So if he can make it, he might be here. But that's coming up. Let me know. I can give you guys information if you're interested. We're in central Pennsylvania, so if you're near that part of the world, that part of the country, you want to come hang out, we've got extra bedrooms. Come hang out. That's all I got. I'm going to put this back on the intro and get out of here. Peace, y'all.